One of the most common agricultural practices is tilling. This is the process of turning over soil in order to prepare it for planting. Unfortunately, tilling can cause erosion, damage the soil, and lead to the loss of soil nutrients. Erosion due to tilling can have numerous dangerous effects on the environment. According to wildlifeworld.org, erosion can lead to pollution of natural streams and rivers, sometimes even clogging them. It also makes the water murky, depriving fish of much needed light. These factors have been linked to a sharp decline in local aquatic populations. According to the World Resource Institute, erosion is responsible for an economic loss of $44 billion yearly in the US alone, showing how detrimental tilling is. A report done by the International Panel on Climate Change found that the soil in areas without conservative agricultural processes erode 100 times faster than they can be replaced. Studies done by Iowa State University have indicated that if land is continually tilled without given proper time to be restored, it can completely halt microbial activity. Microbial activities are important because they help with recycling, decomposition, and soil stabilization. Frequent tilling can lead to topsoil being lost at a rate more frequent than it can be replaced, making the land less useful for farming. Tilling can also lead to a hard pan being formed, essentially a layer of clay-like material which can prevent water being drained in plant growth. Ways to prevent tilling include terraced farming. This process involves cutting into a hill for farmland. This prevents erosion and allows water to flow with more ease to crops. In addition, intercropping, or planting plants in between current ones in a field, like corn in between oil palm trees, can reduce soil erosion because less soil is being tilled. Slash and burn farming is another practice used by farmers. This is where trees are cut down and burned in order to clear the way for farmland. This process results in mass deforestation. This is detrimental to the environment for a variety of reasons. For starters, the trees and plants in these forests, mostly found in the Amazon and Brazil, have vast amounts of carbon stored within them. They've been absorbing carbon from the atmosphere for years. When we cut down and burn these trees, all that carbon that they have built up is released back into the atmosphere, which is terrible for the environment and for the atmosphere. Slashing and burning is responsible for the loss of 50 acres of forest every hour, which is a shocking and terrible amount. In addition to this, the deforestation and burning of the forests destroy habitats for animals and decrease biodiversity. Tons of animals live in these forests, and deforestation is detrimental to the survival and flourishment of many animal populations. This also then leads to a loss of fertility in the soil because of less nutrients being available due to less plants and wildlife present, which can even lead to the land becoming infertile and unsustainable for any sort of plant or crop growth. Other various effects of slash and burn practices include water pollution, significant soil erosion due to the fact there aren't plants to hold the soil, which can then cause landslides and also cause huge dust clouds. These are just some of the many negative impacts slash and burn has on the environment.
The use of fertilizers is also a major problem. While fertilizers are necessary for crop growth, some types can be damaging to the environment. There are two categories of fertilizer: organic and synthetic. Organic fertilizers may contain manure, crushed shells, phosphate rock, and similar nutrients, which are all used to enhance the soil. But synthetic fertilizers use chemicals like ammonium, phosphates, and nitrates to sustain only the crops. Synthetic fertilizers can lead to groundwater contamination, which in effect cause damage to aquatic ecosystems. When the synthetic fertilizer is added to the soil, the chemicals are easily leached. Leaching is when water carries the chemicals from fertilizer into groundwater or surface water through runoff. This process can cause eutrophication. This is when chemicals are transferred through runoff into bodies of water, which can cause fish to suffocate and algae to grow excessively. The negative effects of this are that predators lose sustenance. When fish die off, predators like sharks, birds, and even humans lose a large part of their food source. And when algae blooms grow, they block sunlight from entering the aquatic environments. This means that no photosynthesis can take place, causing food for biotic organisms in the water to have little to no food source. Farmers use pesticides to kill, repel, or control harmful plants, insects, and animal life that are considered pests. However, the use of pesticides can have detrimental effects on soil, water, and animals. When pesticides are sprayed onto crops, the chemicals are absorbed by the soil. It then destroys organic material that helps soil hold water. This saved water can be extremely useful during droughts. Less fertile soils will cause farmers to increase the use of fertilizers to keep crops growing. Like fertilizers, pesticides can be leached into bodies of water. According to World Atlas, research has found that every stream and around 90% of all water wells are polluted with pesticides in the US. This has caused many countries, including the US, to enact drinking water safety laws in an attempt to regulate and reduce the amount of pesticides found in public water systems. The chemicals sprayed onto crops not only enter the soil and water, but are also very easily caught on the wind and spread into different ecosystems. This is known as pesticide drift. Exposure to pesticides can be linked to cancer, endocrine disruption, reproductive effects, neurotoxicity, kidney and liver damage, birth defects, and developmental changes in a wide range of species, as cited by Beyond Pesticides.
These agricultural practices are having a detrimental effect on our environment. It is therefore essential that we take action to reduce their negative impact. This could include finding ways to reduce soil erosion, implementing better fertilizer management practices, and ensuring that water is safe from contamination. By taking these steps, we can ensure that our agricultural practices are sustainable and have a minimal impact on the environment. This has been the Impacts of Agricultural Practices. Thank you for watching.